She entered in the UFC as a champion, and in her UFC debut, on February 23, 2013, she defeated Liz Carmouche by a first-round armbar submission, and after beating Liz Carmouche, her record in MMA was 7-0, with all of her wins being by first-round armbar submission. Her second title defense in the UFC was against a former rival of her, Miesha Tate. Rousey's rivalry with Tate became one of the most iconic storylines in women's MMA. Their heated exchanges and mutual disdain added intrigue to their scheduled fight. The feud between them began when Rousey, who was the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight champion at the time, openly criticized Tate's fighting skills and her Strikeforce title reign, and in the 18th season of The Ultimate Fighter, both Rousey and Tate served as opposing coaches on the reality TV show, and during the season, they engaged in several heated arguments and trash talk, which was featured prominently on the show. This further fueled their rivalry and drew more viewers to tune in. Rousey was known for her armbar submissions, and she often mentioned that she would defeat Tate with her signature move. Leading up to their second fight at UFC 168, the promotion for the event included intense trash talk. Rousey famously said that she wanted to retire Tate and send her back to the minors. And in December 28, 2013, their rematch happened, and after going past the first two rounds, with Tate surviving an armbar attempt and a triangle attempt, Rousey finally submitted Tate via armbar in the third round to retain her bantamweight championship, and again, Ronda emerged victorious over Tate, and for the first time in Ronda's career, she had a fight that lasted more than one round. Her entrance into the UFC marked a historic moment for both women's MMA and the sport as a whole. Her electrifying performances, dominant reign as a champion, and transformative influence on women's combat sports solidified her as one of the most iconic figures in UFC history. And Dana White was very happy seeing all of that, knowing that she would be very profitable for the company. Since Rousey's emergence as a superstar marked a turning point for the UFC, her unique blend of Olympic-level judo skills, charisma, and outspokenness made her a marketable and relatable figure. She brought a fresh energy to the sport and attracted new fans who were drawn to her story and fighting style. And after defeating Tate for the second time, she was scheduled to defend her title for the third time against Sarah McMahon. This matchup between Rousey and McMahon was seen at that time as the clash of Olympians, since they both were decorated amateur wrestlers and Olympic medalists. Rousey won a bronze medal in judo at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, while McMahon won a silver medal in freestyle wrestling at the 2004 Athens Olympics. Unlike some of Rousey's other rivalries, she and McMahon maintained a relatively respectful and friendly demeanor towards each other in the lead-up to the fight. Both fighters expressed admiration for each other's athletic accomplishments. The fight didn't last long. Rousey won the fight by TKO after knocking down McMahon with a knee to the body just over a minute into the first round, ending in a very controversial way. Since Rousey landed a knee to McMahon's midsection, and McMahon appeared to be in pain, the referee stepped in to stop the fight, and McMahon was declared unable to continue, leading to a TKO victory for Rousey. But a lot of fans and critics argued that the stoppage was premature and that McMahon could have continued. But Ronda didn't have anything to do with that. She just did her job, and this was Rousey's first career win via a method other than armbar. Despite the controversy surrounding the stoppage, this victory solidified her status as one of the most dominant fighters in the sport at the time. And for her fourth title defense, she was scheduled to fight Alexis Davis on July 5, 2014, as the co-main event of the UFC 175. The fight between Rousey and Davis was incredibly brief, lasting just 16 seconds. Rousey wasted no time in taking control of the fight. She quickly closed the distance and executed a powerful judo throw, tossing Davis to the mat. She then followed up with a flurry of punches while Davis was down. Rousey's strikes were so effective that the referee had to step in and stop the fight just 16 seconds into the first round. This 16-second victory over Alexis Davis is one of the fastest finishes in UFC championship history. It showcased Rousey's incredible judo skills and her ability to overwhelm her opponents with her aggressive fighting style. And after this impressive performance, she was going to defend her belt for the fifth time against Kat Zingano at UFC 184 on February 28, 2015. Her fight against Kat Zingano is renowned for being one of the quickest finishes in UFC title fight history. It lasted just 14 seconds, 2 seconds less than her previous fight with Davis. The fight began with an aggressive move from Kat Zingano. Zingano rushed toward Rousey, attempting to engage quickly. Rousey reacted swiftly to Zingano's aggressive approach. She executed a spectacular judo throw, taking Zingano to the ground. Once on the mat, Rousey transitioned into her signature armbar submission hold. Within seconds, Zingano was forced to tap out due to the armbar, and the fight was over. Ronda Rousey's win over Kat Zingano made her the fastest finisher in UFC title fight history, and solidified her reputation as one of the most dominant fighters in the entire sport of MMA, and for her sixth belt defense attempt, she was scheduled to face the Brazilian trash talker Beto Correia in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Beth Correia made her UFC debut in December 2013. She gained attention for her undefeated record and her outspoken demeanor. Her record at the time was 7 wins and no losses. Both Ronda Rousey and Beto Correia entered the fight with undefeated records, which added to the intrigue of the matchup. Rousey was the reigning UFC's bantamweight champion and was known for her dominant performances. The rivalry between them began when the Brazilian, who was known for her brash and outspoken personality, started trash-talking Rousey. The most controversial moment in the lead-up to the fight occurred when Correia made comments about Rousey's father, who had taken his own life when Rousey was young. The Brazilian said that she hoped Rousey wouldn't kill herself after their fight like her father did. These comments were widely criticized as insensitive and disrespectful. Trash talk is a common element in combat sports, and fighters often engage in psychological warfare to gain a mental edge over their opponents. However, there is a line between promoting a fight and making offensive or hurtful remarks, and many felt that Correia crossed that line with her comments about Rousey's personal tragedy. Rousey was visibly affected by Correia's comments about her father and took them personally. She expressed her anger and determination to defeat Correia in the octagon, both to defend her title and to silence her opponent's taunts. Apart from mocking Rousey's father, Correia had defeated 2 of Rousey's friends and training partners, Jessamyn Duke and Shayna Baszler, and she used these victories to taunt Rousey, suggesting that she would give her a similar fate. The trash talk and personal jabs escalated as the fight between Rousey and Correia approached. Correia's actions and words struck a chord with Rousey, who took the remarks as a direct insult to her and her loved ones. She was visibly affected by Correia's comments about her father and took them personally. She expressed her anger and determination to defeat Correia in the octagon, both to defend her title and to silence her opponent's taunts. The fight took place on August 1, 2015, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The atmosphere was electric, with both fighters drawing significant attention due to the intense build-up. Rousey entered the octagon as the favorite. The fight was short-lived and ended in a brutal fashion. Rousey wasted no time in punishing Correia with a series of powerful strikes, eventually knocking her out in just 34 seconds.